What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gotians Games. And with E3 not more than 6 days away, people are looking forward to the newest games and the newest info regarding games that they've been watching for a while. Well, unfortunately, those of you guys who've been watching and waiting for Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix to get a release date and potentially to give us more information, well, you might be waiting just a little bit more for that release date. Now, while Marvel's Avengers will be featured on Square Enix panel this year at E3, so we are going to be seeing some information about it, maybe some gameplay and basically what the game's about. Unfortunately, it has been delayed, and I understand why they delayed it. But let's go ahead and read this article. This article is coming to us today from Games Radar. The Marvel's Avengers game release date may not be until 2020, Square Enix reveals. Square Enix says its major games, including Marvel's Avengers, will try to avoid competitor release schedules this year. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that this year is going to be packed full of a lot of good games, especially towards the later half of 2019. With that being said, I completely understand why they would not want to release this game in competition with other games such as Death Stranding, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and another Marvel game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. So it's very understandable. Let's go ahead and read this article. The E3 2019 schedule technically begins this weekend, but given that we've already had leaks for Watch Dogs 3, Fable 4, and Gears 5, we might as well start the party now. Next on the agenda, for instance, is the Marvel's Avenger game from Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, makers of Shadow the Tomb Raider, as the former has just revealed more about the title in its latest financial results briefing, which was held earlier this month and has finally been made public. According to Square Enix Chief Financial Officer Kazuharu Watanabe, the publisher's biggest names, including the likes of Marvel's Avengers and Final Fantasy VII Remake, won't be out until October 2019 at the very earliest. Stating that due to the progress of our development efforts and out of consideration of a competitor release schedules, our major launches will take place after mid-year of fiscal year 2020. Ouch. Watanabe also revealed that in addition to our major titles, we also have fiscal year 2020 releases planned for some unique and promising games, including some for smartphones. We don't care. Those stop short of specifying which titles will be releasing in each planned window over the course of the financial year. The TLDR, not sure what that stands for, is that both the Marvel's Avengers games and Final Fantasy VII Remake could be releasing anytime between October 2019 and March 2020. Given the comments about avoiding competitive period of the fall, their respective launches are likely to swing further towards the latter period. It's also unclear whether Square Enix considers sorry guys, I didn't sleep well last night. Considers its newly revealed Outriders game as a major launch, or if there's even more E3 2019 games to be announced by the publisher in the coming days. Either way, the good news is that we can hopefully expect to be playing several big titles from Square Enix over the next few months and beyond. Here's hoping there's no more Kingdom Hearts 3 style delays. Alright, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that it most likely will be delayed. Like I said, the earliest we could see it is in October. I highly doubt it, and the reason why is because in October you're gonna see. Let's be honest. If they're gonna release any game first, it's not gonna be Marvel's Avenger. It's going to be Final Fantasy VII, because Final Fantasy VII Remake will net them the most amount of money. If there is going to be one of these two games that will be released this year, it would most likely be Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because we're getting into the holiday season, that's the game that's going to bring them the most amount of money. Now, neither of these games would be released October. Let's just be 100% real with you. That will not be ideal to release them in October. Ideal would be to release them closer to or after Black Friday. And the reason why is because that is your video game buying season. That is when most people will be buying video games to give as gifts to other people, or to receive them as gifts themselves, or just to buy them themselves, because most of the time we get those sales going around that time of year. We get a lot of console bundles and stuff like that. I can see a PS4 special edition for Final Fantasy VII Remake being released, and I could see them bundling it up to release during that time. I think would be fantastic in my opinion, because that would bring in honestly the best and most amount of money. Any other way, or releasing it in any other time frame, I think would be a mistake. You also have to keep in mind that we have Death Stranding being released early November. We have Pokemon Sword and Shield also being released in November, I believe. I'm not sure if recording this video they've announced a release date yet, but I believe it should be November. That's typically around when they release Pokemon games. There's a lot of games coming out. Fable 4, Gears 5, Watch Dogs 3, although some of those games might not get a release for this year, but they've already announced, not Square Enix, but PlayStation has already said that they don't want to compete with themselves, so they've pushed back Last of Us 2 as well to next year, most likely early next year. So if they don't want to release games to compete with other games, then think about it this way. Last of Us 2 will most likely get a late January or mid-February release, and if that's the case, then they would probably push Marvel Avengers to March or early January. Again, you don't want to compete with Last of Us, because Last of Us is a huge title, huge title, and that's going to be a tough one to compete against. Also to take in consideration, when you're talking about Final Fantasy VII being a in my opinion much bigger release than Marvel's Avengers, even though we had Marvel's Endgame reaching huge box office success and breaking record after record. If they had pushed this to release sooner, then it would have been a perfect opportunity to capitalize upon the success of Endgame, and they could have released this probably within a month of releasing Marvel's Endgame, and they would have made a killing. But because they've taken as long as they have, at this point, if they want to make the most amount of money, they would have to delay this game to March. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. Let's have that conversation. Those are my thoughts and opinions on this. I honestly don't see it any other way, because, like I said, Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to make a killing. We already know that, and it's just a matter of time of when it's going to be released. We're going to have more information about both of these games coming up in E3, so we'll keep an eye out on that. We will also be streaming the events on E3 when they come through. So with that, guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, share the video out. It means a lot, helps the channel out greatly, and I will catch you guys in the next video. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out, guys.